here. I'm gonna record, and you're gonna listen because
well, we need to record in Audacity too, friend.
Fine.
Jeez.
Fine. All
right. Recording in Audacity.
Recording in Audacity. I think TBCR isn't here.
Big red button.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Are you recording?
As of 10 seconds ago.
Perfect. All right. You're going to listen to me. Hold up. I am here under... My name is Ilyon. This is Rough Cuts, and I'm here under duress. This is a cry for help. Munchie is not a dog.
Look.
This is not a dog movie. There's one dog in it, and they kick it for laughs at the beginning.
Munchie's a dog.
Munchie's a good movie, but Munchie's not a dog. And Munchie is not a good boy. Holy shit. Munchie is an abomination. Munchie is God's mistake. This is not a dog. You can't tell me that a dog caused the Hindenburg disaster, that a dog sunk Atlantis, that a dog slammed a pilot man into a fucking canyon wall in this movie. You can't tell me that.
No,
that's not a dog.
That sounds like a dog. I've seen dog movies. No, yeah, that sounds right.
I hate to interject here, Munchie expert TBCR. After analyzing each individual frame of this movie and its prequel, I have to say that Munchie is indeed a dog. A gremlin dog.
Okay,
hold on.
We need to get the rest of the trial judges here. We need Cleopatra. I need Abraham Lincoln. I need Elvis. I need Marilyn Monroe. We need Colonel Sanders. I need to talk about this.
Angus Scrim.
We need real experts on the opinions here.
Okay, so hi.
You have to try Munchie with a group of his peers, may I add.
I can't believe this is already off the rails. Hello, welcome to Rough Cuts. I'm Boyks.
Hey kids, guess who's back?
My favorite sport.
It's Munchie.
Munchie.
Back with more blasts.
Think you scored 1,000 points on that one.
And more excitement.
Get us out of here, this is too real!
That's Ilyon, and we have special guest and Munchie expert, apparently, TBCR. Hello, and welcome to the podcast.
Let's get one thing straight here. I am not a Munchie expert. I am a Munchie survivor. Because you can't just experience Munchie. You have to survive and suffer through Munchie. As we have.
Well...
I demand that Munchie, as I said, get a trial of his peers, which, as we've known in this movie, are Colonel Sanders, Cleopatra, Abraham Lincoln, Elvis, and Marilyn Monroe.
Those
are anyone that I'm missing.
The spitting image version of Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he definitely didn't put a monkey in a top hat and stick it in.
When Bill and Ted went back in time, they got Elvis, Lincoln, Marilyn Manson, Cleopatra, and
Whoa, Marilyn Manson. That's a very different thing than Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Well, if they could get both, I don't fucking care.
I could get both. I mean, maybe budget-wise, maybe not.
Okay, I really want to see Marilyn Manson in this movie now.
Marilyn Manson meets Munchie. God, it's like Scooby-Doo, like, meets the Globetrotters. Holy shit.
Talk about your stupid crime movie. Go ahead.
Munchie meets the Manchurian Candidate.
Oh my god.
Munchie is the Manchurian Candidate.
Jesus. Munchie,
oh god, wait, hold up. That actually ties into the end of this film.
Yes.
Oh no, you're right.
Oh no, is Bill Clinton the Manchurian Candidate? Ever since Bill Clinton's reign in the U.S., they've actually had a secret advisor.
Oh my god.
Worse than Kissinger, it's Munchie. So, normally, I put in a pet count for the dogs in the movie. I've been trying to do that. I don't normally have to put in a kill count from the dogs themselves.
Yes. Well, we have a tally, right? There's a running tally. It's important.
we have to consider that this is the second movie. Well, in theory, the third movie of a trilogy of films. The first being unrelated to the other two. I've had just for context, I've had the unfortunacy of watching all three of these films. Tuesday of the week of this episode being recorded, and don't watch Munchie Strikes Back when you're on like 3 hours of sleep. It will fuck you up.
Oh yeah, I woke up 10 minutes before we started watching this movie because I screwed up the time.
Well, so TBCR, you had a dream about Munchie, right?
Okay, so my dreams tend to be kind of weird. I mean, normally a lot of body horror, not from me wanting it. It just happens. But this one was actually a decent dream. I was for some reason in the casino where Top Slots Spotting the Best was filmed, and I'm just listening to Jimmy the Scot just ramble on about whatever fucking slot machine he's in front of. Okay. And then in the last 2 seconds before consciousness, I just hear in the background, "Say the magic words!"
Say the magic words.
Okay, I'm not to relitigate the past, but I want to again stress that this is under duress that I'm here. Munchie inside of this movie says, I put my head out the window like a dog sometimes. Which means a dog. Which means that Munchie is not a dog. Munchie is like a dog. Munchie is not a dog. I win. Good day. I'm done.
Yeah. I like to stick my head out the window like a dog. But,
yeah, now I'm back on City Road.
Oh, did you hear that? Wait a second.
Like a dog.
No.
Like a dog. Like a dog. Hold on. Let me have a good rebuttal. If you recall, halfway through the film in the dance scene. Oh god, the dance scene. Yeah. Remember, Munchie turns into Munchie turns into not Howard Hessman. We should point out in the first film, because I'm assuming there's an episode on the first Munchie. Munchie is voiced by Dom. Oh, there's not.
We have not seen the first movie.
Oh, you're in for a trip. Okay, so the first film.
It's not a dog movie.
We're watching Munchie because Munchie's a dog. Yeah, we're gonna watch the first one now too. That's how this works. I tricked you into both.
Listen, Boyks. I'll even host a canned film for that if you want. But regardless of that, he's voiced by Dom DeLuise in the first film. He's voiced by Howard Hessman in this film because obviously Dom DeLuise costs a lot of money, or either that or he died in between the making of the first film and the second film. I forgot when Dom DeLuise died.
I was gonna say, hold up. No, Dom was still alive. We did check this out.
Dom was still alive. Okay.
I very, very much have a problem with you saying that Dom DeLuise costs a lot of money because I've seen a lot of the movies that Dom DeLuise has been in the last years of his life.
Listen, Cameron Mitchell did cost a lot of money. He was in a lot of films for only one scene.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, keep in mind, Dom DeLuise was in one of the classic car movies, Cannonball Run.
Yes.
Well, classic in quotation marks, but I mean, I enjoyed Cannonball Run despite how absurd it was. But we're deviating from my whole point here. In the halfway point of the film, Munchie turns into a person, which I mean, it's already absurd as is. But who's to say if Munchie can turn into a person, Munchie could also turn into a dog.
Yes.
So in theory,
Munchie's not a dog.
No, Munchie is a dog.
Well, hold on.
That means that Munchie's like the thing. That
Munchie is
Odo or whatever dog. From Star Trek a dog? Is every shapeshifter in the universe a dog now?
It's a shape. It's a Schrodinger situation.
If you can shift into that shape, then you're a dog.
Munchie is and is not a dog simultaneously.
Yes.
Finally. Get on with it. I'll just deal. Go ahead. Do your crime podcast. I just want it noted that it's under duress. I will let the people decide what this truly is.
I think you're thinking into this way too hard.
I'm going to present the evidence and the people will back me up. That's what's going to happen. The
looks at no card.
They'll know
the truth. She is a dog.
You all know.
Can't argue with that logic.
So this is a Jim Wynorski film,
Yes.
which also did Deathstalker 2, also did Chopping Mall, also did Doggone, the Doggone films. We did one of those. Yeah, it's the same director.
we did.
Same
God,
composer as all those films as well.
That's true.
Mhm.
So there's
Who
links
appears-
to other dog movies. Yeah.
Who not only appears in this film, but also appears in the other film. Yes, because as if having the composer sing songs terribly in one movie was bad enough, you have them in another movie with the same backing band, which includes Fred Olen Ray, who's probably directed some other films that you've probably watched.
Why did he decide purposefully to show up on screen as Elton John with a bunch of punk rockers in the background playing butt rock?
Now, as a canned film expert, I will unfortunately have to say I don't know.
God damn it.
It's
I need
absolutely
answers.
baffling. I've seen so many films, and I've looked into so much information about each of these films, and I still don't know why.
Oh, it's so weird.
And I've known about this movie for like 3 years
how
now.
much he has like this Elton John if he were your 10th grade math teacher vibe.
Yeah.
Oh.
That
But
haircut.
like the best part is that it's like Elton John from the 70s, and this movie's 1994, so it's
I don't
got
think
an extra vibe to it.
Okay, you know the haircut they had in the second appearance of that band, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either Skittles or Starburst commercial, the berries and cream commercial.
Yes.
Same hairdo.
It's the same guy.
I don't think Elton John had that hairdo.
Berries and cream. Munchie's a dog. Berries and cream.
Munchie is a dog who loves berries and cream.
Yes. Ooh, okay.
As I said, you present your case, I'll present mine. The people will decide.
Well, I guess if we're gonna present the case, we should talk about the movie and what happens, huh?
We should start
probably
from the
should.
beginning, which literally starts with a bang.
Yeah. So it starts off at a high school, specifically Ronald Reagan High School, where Munchie is hosting a party with a bunch of teenagers who are actually adults. And then they blow up the high school?
Okay, so a bit of context. So the kid who he's talking with at the beginning of the film, I found out is the protagonist of the first Munchie, not Munchies, but Munchie, who's only in there for just that scene. And, oh, God.
Continuity.
The plunger.
Important.
The plunger.
Yeah.
The explosion plunger. What was
the
it?
big Acme
It's an Acme explosion, yeah. But they blow up the high school, which presumably has people in it.
Yeah, because
well, it has them in it. They're in like a
Yes.
gym dancing in the high
no,
school.
they were outside. They were outside.
They
The
left-
gym's
There
outside.
was some
It's
shots
inside.
Of some of them being. There were some shots of people being indoors dancing during that. I'm positive there were.
Yeah.
There was some shots of them outside, but there was like a bunch of them like all over the place.
I think you're confusing the opening scene because there was that one girl that swung in on a rope swing, even though logically in the school it doesn't make any sense because there was a wall.
Maybe
So
I thought
they were
like,
just
it looked like
swinging
a
them.
hallway because she swung in on a rope swing and it was
They
like
swung
oh,
direct-
I don't know.
I like what that
It's-
implies is they just swing directly back into the wall.
Have you ever seen 60s Spider-Man? It's fine. Don't worry
It's like
about it.
that, yeah. But they blow up the high school, and then Munchie's like, now let's go blow up the DMV.
That's what you get for making me wait in line.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying that I disagree with most of what Munchie does in this film. I mean, he blows up the Ronald Reagan High School and then he wants to go after the DMV. I'm kind of down for it. Like, it just doesn't mean that he's a dog.
Okay, so Munchie, who's a dog, is nailed to a board. Very clearly,
Literally nailed to a board.
in multiple
And-
scenes.
So my
Yes.
theory was
Wait, so you're saying that Munchie is not a dog? Munchie's Jesus.
Yes.
we're getting too
We're
philosophical
getting
at
close.
this point.
We're getting closer now.
Munchie's the savior of mankind.
Jesus dog. I mean, dog is God spelled backwards.
That's true. Oh my
Munchie
god.
is God. Munchie is God.
Oh my dog.
But yeah, they very literally have Munchie on a board, like with the feet of the model stapled to it.
So
Like,
I'm pretty
very
sure
obviously.
the puppet wasn't like that in the first movie. The problem is I've tried since Tuesday to blot the first movie out of my brain The only thing I can remember from the first movie is that Artie Johnson is in it, and if you know anything about Artie Johnson, oh boy.
But I think what happened is they probably lost the puppet, and then they made another one on a cheaper budget for the second one.
And they had to rush to get it done because there's like animatronics in the head and the hands, but that's it.
I was thinking, or like the bottom got like damaged, and they were like, fuck it, and just
they like threw it in the back of a studio after they were done with Munchie. Like, never make another one of these shits. And then like a year later, fuck, here we go.
Oh
again.
no, Munchie made enough in VHS sales. Looks like we gotta make another one.
Yeah, but after
that's Roger Corman.
After that, Munchie gets brought up to heaven to answer for his crimes by the tall man from Phantasm series,
who was in the first movie, in the first Munchie movie, and I didn't even realize it until like I saw I went on IMDb and I noticed they were in it.
I also want to make clear how incredibly wild this heaven scene is. Because, okay, so he's Peter at the gates, right? Deciding if he goes into heaven or not kind of thing, with like a bunch of people there to judge Munchie's crimes. But he's not St. Peter. Do you remember who he is?
Kronos.
He's Kronos!
Yeah.
He's fucking the Greek Titan Kronos! He's the Greek Titan!
Well, I don't even think that scene was for Munchie to go to heaven. I think it was just a scene of Munchie has done bad. Oh wait, I gotta slam my hand into my other hand for emphasis. Munchie has done bad, and they must determine if he has to go to some colony in outer space for his crimes against
humanity. Munchie is too powerful for them to actually murder or stop. So what they were going to do is send him to like a far distant corner of the galaxy where no
Iris Minor
happen.
So it's less heaven and more the Watchers from
Purgatory,
like, the Marvel series, right?
I guess, but they call it heaven.
It does look like Gary Busey's heaven.
And there's like big winged no. Well, okay.
There was a big winged chair.
On the walls. There's sheets on the walls.
Okay, listen. This is not... You can't just compare this to Gary Busey's heaven. There's no couch with a sheet over it. It's obviously substandard.
Hey, they could at least afford a fog machine.
Right.
Well, yeah, but again, no couch, no sheet, substandard. Anyway.
So the tall man from Phantasm, who's actually a Greek god, consults Elvis, Colonel Sanders, Lincoln, Marilyn Monroe, and Cleopatra on what to do with Munchie, and they decide to send him back to Earth to help a small child and his single mother. And then we enter the Munchie dimension in the credits scene.
The opening to Doctor Who.
God. Well, and we send him back to his mother, the soap opera actress.
Yes,
who's in a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what her name is, but I'm going to call her Vivian because I feel like every soap opera actress has to have a V, or actor has to have a V. Right. So
she's definitely in the wrong film.
Yeah, no, every time that she does like a scene, she very, very clearly does it in like a soap opera style. Like they do cuts where they're having a conversation between two people, and then it cuts, and she turns around dramatically to address them in the middle of the cut.
She turns around, and then in the captions it says "cries" in Spanish.
It's just great.
It's weird. You don't do that.
She's also extremely British and kind of hide it, but not really.
She was a British stage actor. Like she was in theater before she did acting, right?
Which makes sense.
You can hardly tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she was on Upstairs Downstairs on ITV back in the 70s. And then she had comedy and horror roles, but for the most part she's mostly been a dramatic actress. I think she was on Dallas. Not the old one, but the 90s revival.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and she's on The Bold and the Beautiful and
I forgot Dallas. Dallas ran from 78 to 91. That was the original run of Dallas.
Oh my god. So anyways, we're introduced to them. She is like, "Hey kid, pick up your damn room, you're filthy, or I'll send you back to the orphanage where I picked you up." basically. and then
whoa,
she leaves. Right?
Whoa! We're skipping the most crucial scene, which is the office scene. We skipped a whole big portion of the movie.
Oh, the office scene, right?
The uncomfortable office
the bad
scene.
guy. Yeah.
Who is played by the actor who played the bad guy in the previous film. They're supposed to be two separate characters. But the problem is they act exactly the same. So they're essentially the same character, even though they're not. But they are. But they're not. But they are.
They act also, and look the same because it's the same actor.
Yeah.
And I found out that the guy that plays this role was also, I think, the owner of the casting company that did the casting for the film, which may explain why they're in this film.
Yeah. Was he hitting on the kid's mom in that scene?
Yes, he was. Because the whole thing is the company is planning on moving to Mexico City. Yes, the white sand beaches of Mexico City.
Yeah, surrounded by beaches, Mexico City.
I made the comment I made a comment during the screening that it would have made better sense for Cancun to be said because at least there would be a fucking beach.
Well, it's a well-known coastal city, Mexico City.
Yeah, only a 6-hour drive to the coast.
Just 6 hours. And this office is floating. This office is floating in the middle of nowhere because there's nothing outside the window, just skies.
They didn't put a background.
For all we know, this office building is on an airplane.
Yeah, they taped up pictures of the sky outside the window.
I forget what they were even talking about in this scene. It didn't seem important, so I blanked out.
The boss was trying to hit on on the kid protagonist's mom, and she was definitely not having any of it. So in retaliation, he fucking fired her.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
And her what is it, coworker? Because there's that one scene, and the only thing I could mainly focus on was the two IBM computers in the background. But yeah, they got both served pink slips. Dramatic scene, somber music.
So
cut to Munchie.
Yeah, right. So she gets fired. They cut back to the house. She's like, "Hey, kid, pick up your room. It's filthy. There's toys everywhere, and you're 8. You need to grow up, kid." And
we're forgetting Poindexter.
No,
we'll get to Poindexter's right after this, I think.
Yeah, I think it happens.
Oh, we should. No, it was before that. But okay. we'll talk about the Munchie scene, and then we'll get to that because that has a point of contention in the film.
So Munchie spawns a second sun in the sky.
Yes.
And then Munchie shows up in the window so that they can cleverly hide the person whose hands are in Munchie's back. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Munchie. What's up? You ever heard of me? I'm a new person and a being you've never seen me before. Hey, what's up? Haha, I'm a dude.
Can you give me a hammer to get these staples out of my feet?"
Yeah, someone stapled me to a board on the windowsill. Haha.
Yeah, and then when his mom says you need to clean up your room, Munchie goes, "Well, I know how to help with this. There's only one magic word to get rid of all of your belongings. Reaganomics." And then all of his stuff disappears.
That's actually a good joke.
Good joke. That's the one good joke of this entire film.
Yeah, so the mom walks back in and is like, "How'd you clean up the room so fast?" "Oh, magic." "Oh, okay." And then
didn't even lie, just was outright honest.
And then they have the really close moment of, "Hey, I lost my job, so I need you to be a real good kid." Or whatever. All right, bye. Okay, so Munchie's in the film. Munchie is a magical dog being. Who's definitely a dog. And is with the kid, and the kid's like, "Whoa, you can do magic? Like what?" "Well, what do you want? Can you bring my dad back from the dead? If you want a zombie kid, I'll bring him back. Let's go. Let's kill everyone in the world, kid. Let's do it."
I mean, okay, you would think that Munchie would be down for this at this point, because I just want to point out, we didn't quite go over. I said that I had a Munchie kill count, but to reiterate, when he was in heaven, they listed off the various times that Munchie had partied. Let me just list some of those really quickly for you. The Hindenburg, 35 dead, by the way. Atlantis, okay, I'm just going to question mark that one. Mount Vesuvius eruption, 16,000 or so, they think. The meltdown of Chernobyl. All of these are Munchie's crimes.
Munchie This is
all
this
due to
could have
partying.
been-
Mhm.
Yes, this could have been the opening to Re-Dead. You know, like
Yes.
it could have been. Munchie
Mhm.
caused that film to occur.
Yeah, so at bare minimum, before this film has even started, we have Munchie has killed at least 16,066 people.
666. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Now, I want to point out, I think there were additional things that he was responsible for in the first film, so you're going to have fun when you find those out. I know, I think Atlantis was at least mentioned in the first Munchie film. At
Right.
least
Amazing.
Atlantis.
Again, yeah. So, okay, so the kid asks for the only thing any kid would ever ask for, the coolest video game system ever. We got a gamer, folks.
And what
Which
did
is
Munchie
a
give him?
Commodore with a wheel jammed into it through like a carved hole that they did that just like slides around really awkwardly.
They broke
Yes,
that Commodore, huh? Yeah, they sure
The Commodore, they just stuck a steering wheel onto a Commodore Plus 4. Here's your game console, kid.
did. Yeah, it plays Super Mario Brothers. Now we're gonna watch an FMV of Death Race 2000 instead.
Oh, you don't want to watch an FMV? Well, we'll be the FMV.
Like, fucking Munchie's gaming is literally the 3DO. Fuck you.
I love how much stock footage they have from Death Race in this. It's really
Now,
good.
They
I-
use a lot of stock footage
Well,
of Death Race.
I want to point out some of it is stock footage. The airplane in the scene is stock footage, but some of that footage I found out is actual original footage. So they had either the actual car from Death Race 2000, which let me point out, Death Race 2000 came out in 78, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
or they made a car look like the car from Death Race 2000.
They probably
Roger
just had
Corman
the car,
sure
yeah.
has a lot of like dusty warehouses full of old shit. I'm sure they
Well-
have the original car somewhere that he was like.
Well, I
"Ah."
mean, it would make sense because he did produce Death Race 2000.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Munchie
That's what I'm
did
saying.
kill that plane pilot, though. That plane pilot.
Yeah, that's another death count.
Yeah.
And Munchie wanted to start World War III in that scene. I want to point
Oh
out.
yeah, he was excited for that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So he
Extremely
go-
excited about that.
Yeah, they jump into the computer because that would be even cooler, in which they then murder the pilot. Like, there's some pilot chasing them, like bombing them,
Yeah.
and then they run him into a canyon wall. And Munchie goes, "Oh
Explosion.
man, this would be like if we started World War III. We should start World War III."
Just say the word, kid. Haha. I'm Munchie.
Just say the magic word.
Okay, so
That is
Why-
frighteningly close,
That
and I
is
hate
way
it.
too
That's
close,
really
yeah.
close.
why did Munchie give him a Commodore with a steering wheel in it when the kid had a Super Nintendo?
No, he asked for the Super Nintendo. It wasn't like Munchie gave him the Super Nintendo, which we should point out
Oh.
that Munchie stole it from the local mall.
Yeah,
I
Munchie
just
doesn't
peeked just then.
Yeah, Munchie doesn't like just wish things into being. He monkey paws them. And
Okay,
steals them.
now I'm just gonna spoil a scene from the first Munchie. So there's a scene where the kid in that movie asks for a pizza, right? So instead of
Sure.
just magically spawning a pizza, he steals a pizza from the local pizza joint, and the chef that's still giving the pizza to the people at the table just starts chasing the pizza with a fucking butcher knife down the street.
What?
And then inevitably
Okay.
gets arrested by the police because I mean, in the context of the bystanders in the Munchie universe, and I hate the fucking fact that I can even say that.
The cinematic Munchie universe, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just a madman with a goddamn butcher knife running down the street.
Yes. I mean, Munchie really feels like the Wishmaster in this movie, rather
yeah,
than
it's-
like.
it's a subpar Wishmaster because I mean it's not gory, but it's
No,
it's got that
unfortunately.
cynicism to it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that his whole shtick of like, what will you wish for now?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should start this. Like, it's very. Everything that he does has like a string attached to it where it's like actually a horrible consequence. Like, wish for a free pizza? All right, I'm going to ruin this man's life. Here's your pizza.
The
Enjoy.
problem
It's like,
is-
wait, what?
The problem is, Munchie doesn't even wait for the kid to make the wish. Munchie makes the wish and then tells the kid to say
Say the magic words.
Like Munchie's
Yeah,
the one
after it's
making
already
the
done
wish.
half the time.
Munchie is assuming what the kid wants and then
Yes.
wishes it on his behalf, even if the kid didn't really want it.
Yes.
Mhm.
But then the kid has to go along with it because the wish has already been made. Fuck it.
I mean, you can't just return a wish. What are you gonna do? Re-gift
Yeah,
it?
you can't return a wish. There's no warranty. There's no buyback policy on that.
Yeah.
Oh, except they do that. So they contradict themselves in the movie.
Yeah. So next we're introduced to Poindexter. So let's talk about that. Go ahead.
It's the only dog scene in this movie, and I want to reiterate that it's the only dog scene in this movie.
No, there are
he
two
has
dog scenes
Killer.
because the dog shows up in the later lawnmower scene. But I get your point.
Okay,
Well,
I'll
this
give you
is-
that. Yeah,
yeah.
so there's two dogs. There's two dog scenes. This is the first one of them. Poindexter is the neighbor who is in some amazing jean booty shorts and a
the booty shorts,
giant floral
floral shirt,
high collared floral
knee
denim shirt
pads.
that's like unbuttoned down to like his chest hair.
Yeah.
had knee pads on, which understandable.
with-
They work in their garden all day. They have
Yes,
the
exactly.
Coke bottle glasses because that's
Yeah.
obviously what Poindexters wear.
Mm.
I'll be right back. Gonna go take my eye exam, get Coke bottle glasses instead of the ones I'm currently wearing.
Mhm.
He's got a nice poodle named Killer that then our protagonist mom kicks for a laugh as he leaves.
Yeah. Anyway, point being is they kicked that dog, and she took joy in that fact.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. She
Yeah.
like smile like she punts this dog and it howls and then she like grins and walks inside because he was mad that like her sprinklers go into his yard and overwater
Yeah.
his flowers. I guess.
So the lawn mowing scene did happen after the gamer scene, also.
Oh
Yes,
yes.
so we can talk about that while we're at it too.
Mm-hmm.
The kid is mowing the lawn because his mom's like, "Hey, you're 8, go mow the lawn." What's he gonna do? Not mow the lawn? And Munchie shows up conveniently behind a turned over wheelbarrow, so they could hide the board in the hands. And he's like, "Hey, kid."
The only time that they actually cover below the waist so that you don't see him being stapled down.
Well, no, there's the baseball scene, but yeah,
Oh
sure.
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
this was the convenient scene.
So he's
Mhm.
like, "Hey, kid, why are you mowing the lawn? Don't you wish that you didn't have to mow the lawn?" "Yeah, I guess." "Okay, well, what if we made it automatic?" "Whatever, Munchie." I don't care, sure. And then Munchie turns it to like a robotic automatic thing that starts mowing the lawn, and then it goes through the hedges of Poindexter's fucking
And then
flower
it's just-
garden. And then
and
it
it just-
fucking kills him. And Killer.
No, my favorite part of that scene was just the ominous zoom in on Poindexter and the dog.
Yes.
Just
It was like an Evil Dead scene. Where,
Oh
like,
yeah, it definitely has the energy of Evil Dead. I never thought of that at the time, but it's an Evil Dead scene for sure. It's got like that first person like lawn cam.
Yeah.
Like,
and the best part is, and you never see them stop the lawnmower.
No.
no.
And
That
this
comes
is
up,
this is yes,
actually.
this does come up later in the
Yeah.
film, and by later I mean after the film. But
It's an
regardless of
after-credits
that
scene,
fact,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that all happens. The mower attacks both the dog and Poindexter. They're not dead somehow.
Killing them instantly. No, they're dead.
Somehow.
Don't
in
worry
credits.
Ugh. But that's okay, because we don't need to talk about any of this shit that just happened. We gotta talk about baseball.
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 This was
Sports
the
ball,
scene
let's
that
go.
dragged.
It's like 20 minutes of baseball.
Listen,
Yes.
there was a baseball game that was going on. They took advantage of it.
Yeah. So they lined up all the little kids, and they're originally doing a practice game, and there's like this kind of bully pitcher that's making fun of our main protagonist because he can't he strikes him out, and then they switch places. The coach is like, "Hey, stop picking on him. I'm the only one that gets to pick on the kids. Fuck off."
Oh
It's
yeah,
my
John
job as
By-
coach."
John Biner in the most phoned-in performance I've ever seen from John Biner, and that's saying something.
Then they swap positions, and he pitches for a little while, and then they just end that, and the bully kind of exits the movie for the most part. Like, he shows up in the other scene, but he's not for any real reason. So, like, they go from the practice scene almost immediately to the real game, right? Like, there's not much.
No, there was the practice scene, and then the kid came home. So, in the context of the movie, there was the opening scene, then the Chronos scene, the boardroom scene, the practice scene, the Poindexter scene, Munchie's arrival. I hate the fact that I can remember what order these fucking scenes are in. And then
we kind of glossed over some of those because it doesn't really matter the order they come in.
No.
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, in the context for the baseball game, we
also
have to talk about
days. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this movie takes place in the context of maybe like 3 or 4 days.
That sounds right. Yeah.
But yeah, the practice scene, just any of the scenes that have baseball in them, I'd rather get a root canal.
Yeah, so the kids team that our main character is in is fighting against the opposing team, which has a really good name.
The Slaughterers.
The murderers, the killers.
Okay, so you're joking, but I do want to point out that it's not... What the names that you're doing are probably better than the names that they have, because it's the Hillside Stranglers.
The Stranglers.
Oh, it was
Which
the
honestly,
Stranglers.
I could see the Killers as a like baseball team, but the Hillside that just seems a little too graphically specific. I think.
Well, we have to consider that a millionaire asshole was the sponsor of the team.
True.
And
we didn't see their mascot. Their mascot could be way more wholesome.
I mean,
you think
let's be honest.
Their mascot, Newsy.
Let's be honest. Their mascot's probably serving time in the county jail.
Their mascot.
Oh no, Newsy's in prison. Munchie, break Newsy out. Munchie, I need you to help Newsy.
The Hillside Stranglers with their mascot, Piano Wire.
Garrett the Garrote.
Fucking Christ. This little league is fucking hardcore. You don't understand.
They've got Stabby and Newsy and...
Yeah, you don't even want to see
boy.
Gunn.
Man, I understand why Charles Manson was up in heaven talking about, like...
Jesus.
Judging Munchie. No, you said Marilyn.
Manson.
You said Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn
Manson! Not Manson!
Oh, no!
You fucked up so bad. I love it.
I mean, in the context of this film, they could have had any Manson, to be honest.
It could have been. Yeah, they just pick a Manson. It's fine. Choose your own Manson. Whatever.
Choose movie.
That famous book series, Choose Your Own Manson.
So the team's losing the ball game. And then the coach sends the kid to go pick up another Coke because he can't be in a scene without a Coke in his hands.
We have to get our budget back in any way, shape, or form. No, they had Diet Dr. Pepper cans in like the hot dog stand, but you couldn't see the label on them. They were there, but you couldn't see the label.
Right.
Diet Coke, front center, center of frame.
Oh yeah. They have those ones turned towards the camera.
Oh, yeah,
Turn towards the camera. The relish is turned so you can't see the thing, the mustard, the ketchup, but the Coke. Oh, gotta have that Coke in frame.
Okay, so the kid was asked by the coach to go get him a Coke because every single time that coach is on screen, he needs to have a fucking Coke in hand. It's the only possible thing he could do.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid takes the money, goes under the bleachers, which leads inside of a building, which is the locker room.
Which you can't see anywhere near the baseball field whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, this baseball field's in like the middle of a desert. I just want to point that out. It is
there's clearly not a locker room. It's like outside.
No.
There's two trailers.
It was weird. That honestly, like that baseball field, I was like, where is this thing? Because it feels like they had to drive through dirt roads to find it. But anyways.
Yeah.
If anything, Laurel Canyon.
But he puts money in the machine, and Munchie, like you do, is swimming around in the dirty, filthy towels that all the players use. And he pops out. He's like, "Hey, I'm Munchie. You gonna win the game, kid? You remember Babe Ruth? He's very old. You'll never heard of him. He's probably dead by now." And then it gets really sad.
I killed him. Me, Munchie.
Me, I killed him. And at the same time, the bad guy, who's also the owner of the opposing team, who's also the guy who fired his mom,
Mm-hmm.
What a coincidence.
walks underground into this locker room. And he's like, "Oh, where's the bathroom? Holy shit, is that a puppet in that towel?" Oh, fuck. Because he sees Munchie talking to the kid.
Yes.
Right? So after that, they go back outside. He tells his son, who's the pitcher of the Hillside Stranglers, to fucking murder the opposing pitcher. Just blast him. Just fucking kill the guy.
Yeah.
I'll give you $100 to your allowance if you bean the shit out of the kid.
Yeah, it's a hired killer.
I love this scene and like how absolutely depraved this guy is, because it's like he's like, "Well, but Dad, we're winning." He's like, "Not really, son. You haven't ground them into the dust yet. You need to make them feel pain. Go fucking nail this kid." And so yeah, it was the bully though, which is the best thing. Like it's like the dickhead bully from the other team. So it's like bully versus bully violence. It's kind of great.
Such a good scene because like the kid winds up for the pitch. It flips the camera over from like the other perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 180.
The kid hits it, and then it goes back again to the other camera, and somebody off screen just fucking beams this kid in the chest.
Yeah, because like, and the thing is, they threw the ball from a lower position because it was going in an arc. It was going in an upward arc. It wasn't going in like a downward.
It's so good. They had somebody off screen just fucking fast pitch a ball into this kid's chest.
Yeah, I really love that. I want so badly to see the behind the scenes footage of like some adult there. Like, you know that this is just some like tech that's working on, like the sound guy just grabs the ball and is like, "All right, I'll bean this 10-year-old. Let me at him."
Animals were not harmed during the making of this film, but the kids were.
Kids were for sure. So they don't have a pitcher, so they have to replace the pitcher with our protagonist, who sucks shit at pitching. So Munchie pops out of a food stand. He's like, "Hey, I'll help you out, kid. Say the words. Throw the ball. Joe DiMaggio. That's the baseball. I know baseball."
Mm-hmm.
Which then turns all of his pitches into fucking
Bugs
Looney
Bunny
Tunes,
cartoon.
Bugs Bunny shit. Yeah.
In fact, they made it an explicit reference to that one Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah, because the
that
kid
also
gets
dealt with
struck out
baseball
8 times in
Yes.
one
and
round,
which turned into 2 outs.
and it's 2
Yes.
outs. That's not how baseball works. I don't even like
It's
baseball.
fine, don't
No,
worry
boy,
about it.
you get 3 strikes. The kid had 3 strikes times 2. He had more than that.
That's
So that
8.
means it's 2 outs.
No.
3 plus 3
on.
is 6.
Can we talk
he had
about-
8. That means it's at least 2 outs.
Hold on. There's something more important. Can we talk about how condescending the umpire was to the kid immediately
the
after
kid's
that?
a piece of shit. That umpire's an asshole.
Hey kid, you know you're out?
Hey kid, that kid fucking destroyed you. Get the fuck out, kid. You got fucking wrecked, kid.
And then-
Oh shit! And he's like,
And then magically it turned to either the top or the bottom. I don't really give a shit which part of the inning it was. And then they magically have 2 people on base because that's how it works.
Sure.
I mean,
Baseball.
I'm accepting that they gave us a
They-
time skip. Listen, hey, do you want them to show... They almost showed the whole game. Did you want them to show the whole game? Because they got real close anyway.
Yeah,
So
but
in
they-
a 20-minute baseball
listen,
scene, they gave us
if
15 minutes of baseball.
If they wanted to give us a time skip, they would cut to the board because I know the board shows the upper and the lower parts of an inning.
Mhm.
I don't watch baseball because, at least to me, it's the equivalency of C-SPAN. It's sleep aid. But
Okay, I'll agree with you that they should have just cut to the board to show that it was going ahead. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
anyways, now
since
there's
they
2
didn't do
people on
that,
base.
I'm just assuming that magically there are 2 people on base. I mean, considering what this movie is, I don't question it. But yeah, the final thing, and then oh god, the kid's on the bat.
Yeah, so the kid goes to bat, he hits the ball, and then it goes so far into home run territory that goes out into outer space, loops the Earth 20 times, changing the rotation of the Earth backwards, so we go backwards in time.
And then
Yeah, you
Lois
get
Lane
the full
did not
Superman.
And then they win the game, and the ball fucking comes from space, blasting through the atmosphere on fire in flames at thousands of miles per hour, and then hits our bad guy on top of the head and
beans
knocks
him
him
right
out.
in the head, blunt force trauma.
Fucking
Mhm.
kills
In
him.
credits. I wish it was in credits.
Could have been the end of the
I
movie.
really like in the baseball scene, I just want to point out that there was a take in there where one of the times that the bad guy walks up to the pitcher's mound to talk to his kid,
Yeah.
as he walks up there, he like trips and barely recovers it, and they just kind of kept it.
Yeah, like that's
He almost
whatever.
fucking just biffs it. It's
Whatever.
really good.
So afterwards, yeah, we go to the dance, which I'm going to mostly skip over because there's more
Thank
important
you.
things that happen.
Mhm.
But Munchie turns the he turns the family station wagon into a limo station wagon, which still looks like a station wagon.
Yeah, it's one of the old.
It's like those
limos that
edit-
just look like garbage.
Yeah.
It's like those DIY projects that people do to their cars. They like extend it by just welding
awful.
the mid part of like an SUV to their car.
They just got Exhibit into this.
Oh, man.
Oh man, you got a station wagon
Like,
here?
all they
Let's
did was-
fucking pimp that.
All they did was make it longer. They didn't make it a
Mhm.
fucking limo. Fucking assholes. So, but anyways, he takes a limo. He takes his love interest, who's also on the baseball team, with him to the dance. He's a huge fucking asshole, claiming that
Well,
he
yeah, because
won the
Munchie's
game.
been rubbing off on him, so now he's a total
Yeah.
prick.
He
She
rubbed
hates
off on him with the rag that he used to wipe his nose off.
Ew.
Oh god.
But okay, so that happens. He's a fucking asshole. He asks Munchie if he could read people's minds for a bit. He determines, based on everybody's reaction, that he's a fucking asshole. So he says, "I don't want to do that anymore," and then leaves with Munchie to go get food or something. So
I want to point out though, like as TBCR was saying, that when he turns himself into a human man to
Yes.
drive the limo, and this
you
is
know what the-
important because what does he do when he's a human man? TBCR, you mentioned
He
it.
wipes his nose, which apparently had shoe polish on it. But here's the most frustrating part to me. They didn't even get Howard Hessman to play the role of the driver. No, they got someone else to do the role of the driver, and then they dubbed in Howard Hessman's voice. And
That's
the
true.
lips don't even match up.
No,
That is
not even a
shitty
little.
ADR.
But like, it's amazing too to me that it's the. I have a lot of existential horror questions about like. So Munchie has a black nose, like oh god, like an animal, not a dog.
like a dog. Go on.
Anyways,
dog.
Yeah.
he's got like a little black nose.
Like
And
a
then when he
dog.
turns into a human, he wipes the black off of his nose, which makes me like. Was that something that he could always do? Did he just get into shit? Is he just shoving? Is he huffing black paint between scenes? Like what is going on with Munchie in this movie?
Yeah. Well,
Like, oh shit, I still got a little on there.
Maybe that was when Munchie turned into a dog and was sniffing some areas, and they turned back into Munchie
Oh
because
yeah, so when he turned into a dog, so Munchie's not a dog, it's when he turned into a dog. All right.
Munchie's a dog
I rest
that
my
turns
case,
into
continue.
once again
a
Schrodinger's
Munchie-like
dog.
shape. Yeah. So okay. Anyways, point being, after that we find out that they have a $20,000 debt, and the mom's going to lose the house, and another emotional scene from a different movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we're taken to the horror house with our bad guy who took a bunch of photos of Munchie during the dance, like afterwards in the
Oh
limo.
god, the horror house.
And the horror house has
forgot
our character Professor Graves,
MD.
Mhm.
MD, who tells
Get it
us
right.
some very important Munchie lore.
Yes, Munchie lore and the Munchie mythology of the quadrilogy, which only consists of technically 2 or 3 films, depending on
Yes.
how hungover you are at the time. They were trying to do their best. They were trying to do their best Peter Lorre impersonation at the start.
They failed miserably.
They failed miserably. But then, like, okay, so I think this character is supposed to be similar to the Artie Johnson character in the first film, but apparently Artie Johnson cost too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. So, yeah, and oh god, the photos.
So
these photos are why I want to like have this. Okay, for context, I burnt my VHS tape, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, so you just like taped over it? No, I literally burnt it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But okay, so it's a photo of the Sphinx with Munchie's head, a photo of Napoleon with a smaller Munchie also dressed like Napoleon, a photo of Munchie with Washington crossing the Delaware, where Munchie's the one pointing the way.
That photo of the Sphinx, that haunts my dreams sometimes.
It's so good.
It's so bad.
But all of this is just to say that Munchie's an ancient being, which we already knew, but it's to tell the bad guy that is also the case. And also he's going to buy a poison dagger to kill his wife later. It's fine.
Yeah, so Professor Crypt Keeper gives him all of this extra information. Sorry, Professor Hobo Crypt Keeper. I forgot that he's got like
Hobo
the
Crypt Keeper
ratty
MD.
fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. In his store full of black candles and ravens. It's kind of incredible.
Anyways, the next, that night, it starts snowing money.
Yeah, she yells, "Oh my god, it's snowing!" as there's a bunch of bills falling from the sky.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this scene. So even Munchie was like surprised about this at the beginning, even though it turned out that he was the reason for it. Even though the kid didn't really ask for it, Munchie just made it rain money. I love the implication that no one bothered at night. They see money falling from the sky, but no one touches it at all. Yeah, even in the next day when they're raking money into bags for the bank people to take and put into the thing, because, you know, that's how that works.
They just left it on their lawn all night after seeing it and then started raking it up in the morning. What?
I'm going to be honest with you. That was the most baffling scene in this movie, and this is a movie full of baffling scenes.
So a guy from the Treasury Department shows up, though. And it's like, hey, about that money, it's fake.
No, it's not fake. It hasn't been made yet.
It's counterfeit. It's
well, he says that it's counterfeit later on. They actually talk about it being counterfeit
they do
money.
Say counterfeit.
Yeah, which is amazing because it's like Munchie calls down $20,000 to save this family, but he's such a dick. He makes it fake money.
Yeah.
It could have been Monopoly money. It would have been funnier if it was Monopoly money. It would have been sadder.
It looks like Monopoly money, to be fair.
The Treasury guy is like, hey, your mom and you, he's talking to the mom, I guess, but you and your son need to come with me to the federal building because we need to talk about this counterfeit money.
Yeah, I need to take you downtown for questioning. Oh, can I bring my son? Oh, sure.
Yeah, whatever. So they leave. Munchie is still in the house, and then the bad guy shows up one frame after the car leaves.
Car leaves, obvious cut, because like it shifts like 2 or 3, well, in the context of a computer screen, pixels. And then the other car comes up.
It shifts a few degrees, yeah.
And then this fucker has a crowbar with him. He's dressed in all black, except for his tie. Has a black crowbar with him, walks up casually to the door. The door was open the whole time. Just opens it with a crowbar, even though it was already open.
And then closes it, and the door locks again, which is like,
the door locks
if you opened it with a crowbar, it doesn't close again. Like it's busted.
Just, saunters through the living room, goes up the stairs. Hardwood flooring. Goes into the kids' room, as that's not creepy whatsoever. Just starts looking around. Munchie gets ideas.
Munchie fucking kills this man. Like
Munchie literally sets his ass on fire.
He lights firecrackers in his ass. Like in his ass.
Yes.
Throws marbles on the floor, trips him, knocks him backwards down the stairs, and then drops a fucking bowling ball on his head.
Yeah, when we say drops a bowling ball on his head, we're not talking about like he runs down the stairs, holds a bowling ball over his head, and then like cracks him with it from like a foot. No, he drops it from the top of the stairs and it bounces
It has
down the
momentum.
stairs, picking up speed
Yeah.
until it fucking brains him in the back of the head at like 10 miles an hour. This like 30-pound bowling ball mushing his head into fucking dust. Like,
which may explain some of the weird decisions this person makes later on in the film. But regardless of that fact, I wanted to make this observation during the scene, but it would have been cheesy, but it would have been a bit funnier if they had that one shot from what is it? Detective Arbogast from Psycho. That scene at the top of the staircase, how it has that it's following him down the stairs. Instead of just having the shot from the bottom of the stairs of him falling down, it would have been cooler. Maybe it would have cost more money, but it would have been cheesier. And I think that scene would have been even more funnier because of that.
See, the scene after this is what upset me the most.
Roger Corman is no Alfred Hitchcock. That way.
But he walks into the kitchen after Munchie, and Munchie shoots some white sticky substance.
It's frosting. It's frosting. It's for whipped cream and frosting. Let's just call it that.
Very quickly. Yeah, so Munchie frosts this man as he goes through the door.
Yeah, he sure does.
Who then
Munchie throws his frosting all over this man's face the minute that he comes into the door.
They put that on the cover, I want to point out.
Yes, and then this man proceeds to stick his fingers directly into a socket, as he would.
Yeah,
he gets hit in the face.
The living.
And as someone... Munchie doesn't do that to him. I want to point out, Munchie doesn't do anything to him there.
He does.
He throws cream in his face, and then the man turns around and just jams his fingers in the outlet.
As someone who has suffered electric shocks of that severity himself, as you would, as an expert.
Anyways,
but that's not the most baffling part.
He catches Munchie by pulling on a chain on the opposite side of the room, which lowers some potatoes and tomatoes hanging in a basket above him.
It was apples and potatoes, but yes, just let that sink in. You pull a cord, which chain? Apparently there's what purpose would that be in any household?
I want to point out it doesn't even lower the baskets. It doesn't do anything even remotely that useful. It just tilts them. It tilts them so it dumps all the potatoes out onto Munchie.
Why would you install this fucking chain in your house? To dump your potatoes on the floor?
Maybe they were setting up a Rube Goldberg machine. You never know.
It doesn't even make sense. I hate it.
It's so good. It's so good.
But so he stuffs Munchie in a trash bag where he belongs.
Yes.
Head first.
And at the same time, the mom, the kid, and the Treasury Department guy, for some fucking reason, show back up at the house.
Because apparently that's how much time passed.
We thought
they've done their full interrogation downtown and everything, and he's coming back to like finish collecting the money, even though the man's still in the house. At first, you were like, "Oh, well,
it's like 5 minutes at most."
Yeah, you were like, "Apparently, this much time has passed." And I'm like, "Well, we haven't seen the man in the house. He's probably gone. Like, I'm sure this is a time skip forward." Nope. I'm blissfully an idiot.
Can I point out something that not even I only just now realized? They didn't question why there was a car in front of their house.
They sure didn't.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Where did they park their car?
Their car was
anyway. So beyond
I bet their car was still the limo.
Yeah, that's true. It was still a limo. He never turned it back from a limo. Fuck, Munchie sucks. So the kid confronts the guy who stole Munchie. He's like, "Wait, you threw him in that trash bag. I know, I heard him." "No, you didn't, kid." And he runs out and pushes the treasurer guy to the ground. And the treasurer's like, "I'm gonna fucking get that guy. He pushed me."
He got Munchie. Who's Munchie?
Yeah, the kid runs out. He's like, "He stole Munchie. What the fuck is a Munchie?"
Okay, 2 things that I want to point out that are incredible. Well, okay, I guess three things about the treasury guy that I just want to quickly point out. A, he walked into the scene, and 5 seconds later, like, him and the mom are ready to bone down, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to become the dad." Like, 5 seconds after seeing her. Second thing, like you said, he gets lightly brushed by this man, and he's like, "All right, we're going to break all known laws to fuck him up. Let's get in the car and get him."
Yeah, they start a car chase.
And the third thing, which is the most baffling thing.
Last thing I want to point out is that this man the child tells him like, oh, he's got Munchie, my friend. And he goes, oh, Munchie? Yeah, I know him. He was my friend when I was a kid too.
For no reason.
Raises so many questions about what horrible war crimes this treasury man's committed in the name of Munchie.
That's an unmade film.
Incredible. I need the prequel with the treasury guy and Munchie.
So Munchie is being led on a car chase because Munchie is the one controlling the car that the bad guy is in.
Mm-hmm.
He takes over the brakes, he takes over the ignition, he makes it so the car won't stop and just tortures this man.
Makes the steering wheel come off.
Yeah, he rips the steering wheel off.
Axis.
And then causes him to crash by saying like, hey, do you want to fly? Yo, you can make this car fly? That'd be great. All right, pal. Monkey paw.
Say the magic words.
Then he runs into a fucking fruit stand.
Yeah, fruit stand flips, cuts to a still frame being flipped around.
Yeah, they rotated a still frame. We got stunts.
Yeah, to show that the car flipped. I mean, hey, listen, sometimes it works.
And then he gets out. The cops that were chasing them, because there's also cops that were chasing them, as they saw it, like, oh, we got a runner. Stops as well. He goes to the cops. He's like, oh, thank goodness, you're here to save me. And then his car fucking explodes with Munchie in it.
I'm not gonna lie, we all laughed at that scene.
That's a good scene.
Oh, yeah?
That's a good scene.
It's a good scene.
Yeah. So Munchie's fucking dead. They arrest the bad guy. And then the kid's home that night. I want to point out
the nightmare of Munchie is
later
over. At long last, we've killed him.
The cops though, they they hated the millionaire guy.
They hate that guy. He's like, don't you know who I am? Oh, you're the person who fucking fired my wife.
You're Mr. Comcast. You fired my wife.
Yeah.
Get in my fucking car. You're going to prison.
Those cops wouldn't have done that. They would have been like, oh, you're Mr. Comcast. I'm sorry, sir. Here's my.
Yeah, they don't help like clean him up, dust him off, and be like, all right, who do you want us to arrest? Sorry, what do we need to do?
Yeah, right. No. So anyway, Munchie makes this kid think that he's fucking dead for at least 8 hours. just because he's a piece of shit. And then as the kid's back at home, Munchie shows up on the TV. He's like, hey, it's the Munchie show. I'm not actually dead. I just wanted to fuck with you. Haha. By the way, I gotta go.
I gotta go back to the Chrono show.
See you later. I'm going back to heaven / wherever the fuck that place was.
Purgatory.
And we find out that it was actually his dead dad who asked Munchie to fuck with this kid and just mess with him. Great.
Which is
and then Kronos goes, was the japery sufficient for you, father? Did Munchie do a good enough job fucking with your small child? And he goes, yeah, I guess. And he goes, okay, I guess that's a point in Munchie's favor. So, all right, we'll weigh against the Hindenburg accident, the sinking of Atlantis, the Mount Vesuvius eruption that killed 16,000, and the Chernobyl meltdown, and we will put helped one small child and his father one time. And, all right, the scales are balanced now. We're all good.
Because Munchie
now
set
it's
it up.
time for your next assignment.
Munchie set up the counterfeit money so that his mom would meet the treasury guy and they would bone.
Yes.
That was the whole plot.
And well, hold on, and also that through nepotism, the man would give her a job.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that was. He even says that. He's like, oh, well, like she'll give you a job and maybe even become your new dad.
Oh my god! But that's okay. In the next film, we're gonna help a very important person.
Who?
Oh god.
Go ahead, do your worst. Send me anywhere. I'll have the place rocking in no time.
Actually, there's someone down on Earth who needs a lot of help right now.
Then what am I hanging around here for? Who got lucky this time?
Should have no trouble finding him. Here's what he looks like.
Well, I wouldn't miss our next picture, folks. But until then, here's the end of this one.
I hope that everybody is standing and saluting right now, as they should be. Salute, please.
It's Bill Clinton. It's fucking Bill Clinton. The movie
Here's
ends
your
on
next
Bill
assignment.
fucking
Bill
Clinton.
fucking Clinton.
Phantasm tall man tells Munchie to help Bill Clinton. That's this fucking movie. That's not a joke.
Cut
now we
credits.
understand why Munchie is so responsible for so many war crimes and accidents.
I can't believe
He's
Munchie
the power
summoned
behind all
Monica
presidents.
Lewinsky. This is some
God.
bullshit.
Oh, God.
You see why I have issues with this film.
Well, I mean, it all makes sense because they had a psychic on hand at all times.
Oh yeah, there
movie,
in the
just
credits
case.
it mentions there was a on-site
Madame
reader,
Zolta.
palm reader.
Fucking Christ.
Hey, there's one thing we can be glad about. At least Munchie Hanks 10 was never made.
Yeah, they never made the third movie. They did have it in the credits. See you next time. And Munchie Hangs 10.
That is the most ominous threat I have ever seen in any cinema.
I think that means
ever.
that we need to pick up the torch. We need to make the next Munchie.
Listen,
let's get the Kickstarter going.
Yeah, I think that's what that means.
Just message Jeremiah Norski. Be like, so yeah, when's Munchie 3?
Hey, I'll give you $10 to make Munchie 3. It worked for Quigley.
You can buy the puppet for $10.
Look, it worked for Quigley. We did Quigley, and they made Quigley 2 now. It's happening. This shit's happening.
Oh no.
I'm not rating Munchie.
Yeah, we need to rate the dog. So let's rate Killer first. Killer's the
only dog in this movie.
An obvious good rating. Killer barks a lot, is very excited, is a cute little poodle, and gets utterly harassed and kicked and attacked by a lawnmower.
And our protagonist's mother.
Yeah, I don't think Killer deserves any of that. I would say Killer is like a pretty okay 11 out of 10.
Yeah. Killer's a nice little poodle that was barking and jumping at the woman, not to be mean, but because it wanted pets, and nobody acknowledges that. And I find that incredibly disappointing. There's a 0 pet counter in this movie, and I'm sad.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no, sorry. I don't want there to be a pet counter for Munchie. I want to clarify that. I need there to be a pet counter for the dogs. I'm not disappointed there's no pet counter for Munchie. Munchie does not deserve pets.
Munchie can have a hypothetical score if you wanted.
Yeah.
If you had to hypothetically give a score.
I'm going to rate Munchie because Munchie's a dog. And Munchie is a very cute dog who tries his best, helps the kid, and probably murdered, like, I don't know, a couple 100,000 people over the years.
Okay.
Like
I would like to give my closing arguments in this, the trial of Munchie. I would like to very quickly point out. So Munchie has a death count of, at least in just this film alone, referenced at about 16,067 or 66 kills. Now, I would like to point out that that is worse than Chevy Chase in any other dog film that we've watched, and that no dog can be worse than Chevy Chase. QED, Munchie is not a dog. I rest my case. I'm going to let the jury decide.
Well, as the Munchie expert, I'm pretty sure Munchie deserves the Palme d'Or. Doesn't even need to make his own film. Just from his outstanding performance as a dog in this film.
Objection, Your Honor. I do not believe that we have established this this particular person's status as an expert in this court. I think that
have you seen the other Munchie? Have you seen the other Munchie?
I think we got.
Have you seen Munchies?
Yeah.
I mean, if I've had to suffer through this film way more than you have, I don't know. I would consider myself as a Munchie expert. This movie has been ingrained into my brain and will never leave it, haunting me for the rest of my days.
I realize that I'm painting myself into a corner where if I say that I need to be a Munchie expert, that means that I have to watch the other Munchie films, and I don't want to do that.
I think you're obligated at this point to watch the original Munchie for context.
Yeah, we need to know context. Yeah, I agree. This is very good. Anyway, thank you for being here, TBCR. Much appreciated.
Yes,
this was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Rough Cuts. We're cutting close to 50 episodes, which is exciting. I tricked my friend into watching Munchie 2, so that's great.
There was no trick. I want to hold.
Yeah.
No, there was no trick. This is duress. This is duress. There's no trick. I knew what this was, and it's not
And yet
a dog
you decided
movie.
to go through with it.
I have to.
No, you don't. You can be
This
like,
is an
hey, I don't want to watch
podcast. Nobody can actually see the literal gun to my head from Boyks during this. We're in the same room. Someone help me. I need to get out of here. Call Munchie. Munchie can save me.
Just say the magic words.
My whole life ruined by dogs.